Banyana and the Spar Proteas netball team celebrated today by the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Zizi Kodwa, that has just gotten underway, I understand. Let's go there live to Santon.
Towards professionalizing women's football by establishing a national football league. I have expressed on a number of occasions my disappointment that at this day and age, we are still having discussions on the need for having the discussion on the need of women to be paid equally to men in sport. The President of the Republic actually makes a point, rather to this point, that we shouldn't be talking about equal pay. Given the performance of women in 2023, women must be paid more than men in 2023. I must commend Netball South Africa under the leadership of Madam President Cecilia Molokwane for having moved towards a semi-professional structure. There are opportunities for commercial partners to assist in moving South Africa's women's football and netball towards fully professional structures. While government has supported efforts to boost women in youth and youth sport development in the country, it cannot do it alone. We would need the table on my left. I'm pleased to be joined, among others, this morning with a very cordial discussion, constructive discussion by Red Bull in Cape Town. I've had a very cordial discussions with Sasol, very cordial discussions with MTN, and many other commercial partners who are also have shown enthusiasm to participate in this endeavor to establish a professional league. While football in the country is the most popular sport, netball is the country's most popular women's sport. At the closing of the 2023 Netball World Cup in Cape Town, President Ramaphosa committed in government that government will build an arena for the country. The President noted that it should not be that such a highly popular sport does not have its own dedicated arena in the country. The building of an arena in South Africa would contribute greatly to efforts of revitalizing netball. I'll be engaging with Netball South Africa, Madam President Cecilia. I'll be engaging with your leadership soon on how this project will be rolled out. That also coupled with netball courts and football pitches in more rural areas would help to stimulate women's sport in the country. There is a need for South Africa to have a blueprint to develop women's football and netball. I intend, Madam President Cecilia, to set up a panel of experts on netball and football to lead the establishment of this blueprint. Australia's Football Federation has done this before. Just 3 years into its 15-year vision to improve participation and performance in Australian football, Australia's national women's football team reached the semi-finals. Last week, I was in Bizana, in a rural area of the Eastern Cape, to open the first phase of the upgrades at the Mputhume Mafumbata Stadium. The aim of this stadium is to provide adequate sports facilities in rural schools and surrounding communities. The focus here is also to support rural women's sport development. When I visited this stadium, I was satisfied with the progress. I also saw opportunities to develop such facilities in such areas, in rural areas where there is lack and therefore, whilst there is talent in those areas. These are kind of sport infrastructure facilities we need in rural areas to encourage grassroots responsive government efforts to build rural sport infrastructure. I am happy this morning to announce that early this week, a team from the Department of Arts and Culture, working with SuperSport, visited Mkauli High School in eNCA, in the rural area of the Eastern Cape. This is a school where Pum Zamaweni went to school. we intend to build 2 netball courts in this school. We also want to inspire young rural women that they themselves are not left out. Like Phumza Maweni, like we did with Bongi. We want to make sure that we roll out this program in all rural areas. What I saw in Cape Town, today the most popular sport among men is netball. You became role models for young girls. It was a family sport, and that's what the country needed at that moment. In you, they see role models. And therefore, as government and the leadership seated with me here, is to support you as role models and to give capacity. Immediately after this, I'll be meeting with the National Lottery Commission to iron out areas of cooperation. A steering committee will be set out to manage implementation of cooperation between ourselves and the National Lottery on how best to achieve our objectives. Our National Lottery will help us in this regard. To the Spar Proteas, to Banyana Banyana, continue to make country proud, ladies. You have made history. To you, Tembi, your sacrifice is the highest form of patriotism. I had an opportunity to speak to your mom. I also spoke to you. I never thought even myself I would endure such a pain. But you are truly, beyond loving your country, you are a true patriot. For what you have done for our country under such difficult situations and conditions that a human can face, we thank you. We thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Minister Zizi Kodwa. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a little trip down memory lane. We are going to play a video for you just to remind you of where we've been and where we are hopefully headed.
Argentina do not win their game. And for South Africa, they know that simply now another goal for them would ensure that they clamber above Italy and finish second in the group. We are poised in Wellington for a fascinating...
We leave the teams of Banyana Banyana and the Spar Proteas netball team to watch what is, sounds like to me anyway, a video recapping their performances. So we just heard from Zizi Kodwa, the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, not only just celebrating both of the teams, of course, just a few key takeaways before I move on to our top story. And I think this is going to be one of the standout comments from this, and without a doubt is going to be picked apart to its minutiae. Listen to this. The minister saying that women in sport must be paid more than men in 2023. Now, remember, before the FIFA World Cup, the Women's World Cup, there was issues with Banyana Banyana, the first team even not wanting to go out onto the pitch in one of the warm-up games for that. And a lot of that was to do with money, with salaries, with prize money, all those issues. It's not new. It's been around for a couple of years. So the minister saying women in sport must be paid even more than men in 2023. Also, commercial partners are needed to make football and netball professional sports. And as I wrap that up, apparently, according to Zizi Kodwa, Sasol and MTN, two big sponsors of sport, we know that, of course, have already been in discussions with them, excuse me, about establishing a professional league. So just a very short briefing from the minister, but good news for women's sport in our country. Of course, we all need to make sure that it actually does take place.